Today we're going to show you how to change a hinge. Obviously, once again, this window's brand new, so it's not damaged. What you have to do to change a hinge is take the sash off completely, which is done with these screws here. So you can either use an impact driver or you can use a hand screwdriver, whatever easier. This is a fire escape hinge, so it opens the whole way. You can get a couple of different styles of hinges. It's normally easier to have someone to help you, taking the little window off just so you don't damage anything. So, close that off. If you pass it into me, Cal. And then if you can see on the top of this window here, there's three screws that hold it in the top, which can also be adjusted. So if you do get a hinge that's not exactly the same size, the shop might sell them a little bit differently. There's not much, maybe a couple of centimeters. You can move them up and down on these hinges. So if you put it back in and your window is not working properly and hitting, just these screws here, you can move them from left to right, which gives you a bit more play.
Why would you need to change hinges on a house?
So with age and obviously wear and tear, some hinges they stop going in correctly. So if you have a look at this hinge, obviously it sits into this plastic holder. Sometimes after a bit of time, this goes this side of the plastic hinge and then it doesn't close properly, so you're always going to get a draft through. So that's nice and easy, that hinges off completely. And then to put them back on, what you normally do, if you have a look at the hinge where it's angled, normally that bit of the hinge sits flush with the edge of the PVC frame. So then you go back onto there as normal, put the screws all back in. That's obviously going to be set right because it's a brand new window, and if the hinge isn't right. This hinge is a side hung hinge, which you can get different ones. So obviously with a side hung, these are a little bit smaller than the top swings. This is a 12-inch, but with the top hung hinges, they come down the side, they're a lot bigger because there's a lot more weight out on the sash. And then just to put it back in as normal, we pass the sash out.
And as you can see, it is a lot easier with two people.
You can do it by one, but it's very fiddly. And I'd always screw back the top hinge first, just to hold the weight of everything. There's one sash back in, you're not going to worry about it falling out.
That is how you change a set of hinges.
Nice and clean now.
Lovely.
All done. Hinge change, beautiful job.